Artificial intelligence is popping up everywhere, but its impact is maybe nowhere more profound than in a super specialized field like medicine. Today, we're diving into how AI is completely shaking up radiation oncology, which is, of course, a critical front in the fight against cancer. So, to really get a grip on just how big this change is, think about this. What used to take a physician hours, hours of incredibly detailed work to craft a radiation treatment plan, can now be done by an AI in just a few minutes. This isn't just a small step up, it's a complete revolution in how things get done in the clinic. And it's not just about that initial plan, not by a long shot. AI is already helping out with things like auto-contouring, which is basically drawing super precise outlines of tumors and healthy organs on scans. And pretty soon, it's going to help with triaging patients, handling documentation, and even making the whole patient experience more personal. AI is quickly going from just a tool to, well, an actual member of the care team. Now, let's be really clear about one thing. This isn't about replacing anyone. The field of radiation oncology isn't just going to disappear. But the way it's been done for decades, the roles, the staffing, the whole workflow, that is being totally re-engineered by this technology. But whenever you have this kind of massive, fast-paced change, there's going to be some friction. As these incredible new tools get woven into the fabric of medicine, we have to ask a really important question. What's at stake for the human at the center of it all? And look, that's a totally fair question to ask, right? If the AI can do all this stuff faster, and maybe just as well, then where's the problem? What's all the fuss about? And this is where the real worry comes in. The risk isn't the AI itself, it's how we classify the work it does. You can see why an administrator might love this. If you can relabel a complex medical judgment call as just a technical task, you could cut a lot of costs. But something absolutely essential gets lost when a professional service built on years of human judgment gets downgraded like that. Yeah, this is really the heart of the whole debate. What's the difference between a professional service and a technical one? How we answer that question for AI-assisted care is going to define the future role, the authority, and really the value of the doctor in the whole process. And we're not just talking about small changes here. The stakes are absolutely huge. This isn't just about job titles. It's about the clinical authority that keeps patients safe. It's about the trust a patient has that their doctor is making the final call. It's about the ethical standards that have been the bedrock of medicine for centuries. The whole value of the profession is really on the line. Okay, but this isn't all doom and gloom. Not at all. This is a story about leadership. It's about getting ahead of the curve and actively building a future where AI makes healthcare better, not just cheaper. So the goal isn't to hit the brakes on technology. No way. It's a call to action for the experts, the radiation oncologists themselves, to grab the steering wheel and make sure AI is implemented in a way that truly serves everyone, both patients and the doctors who treat them. And there's actually a pretty clear playbook for how to do this. First, you have to clearly define what a radiation oncologist does in a world with AI. Second, you've got to set firm rules for what AI can do on its own and where a human absolutely has to be involved. Third, and this one's a biggie, the payment policies have to change to reward the physician's expertise, not just the machine's work. And finally, you have to adjust how we train new doctors for this new reality. A key piece of this whole strategy is something called codified oversight. It sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It just means writing the need for human judgment directly into the rules, the policies, and the payment systems. That way, especially for the toughest cases, a doctor's experience isn't just a nice to have, it's required. We also have to face a pretty tough reality on the ground. Right now, the system is training more new specialists than we think we'll actually need in this AI-assisted future. That's a tricky problem that has to be handled carefully to keep the profession healthy for the long run. But like any huge technological shift, it's a double-edged sword. Sure, there are challenges you've got to manage, but it also opens up some incredible new doors for people who are willing to lead the way. Check this out. There's this amazing emerging field called Radioligand therapy, or RLT. You can think of it like using tiny, smart, radioactive drugs that literally hunt down cancer cells and destroy them with pinpoint accuracy. For example, with some prostate cancers, they can attach a radioactive molecule to something that only seeks out cancer cells, delivering a lethal radiation dose right to the tumor while leaving healthy stuff alone. Pretty cool, huh? So, who is the perfect person to lead this new frontier? Well, it's gotta be radiation oncologists, right? Their entire world is built on the stuff that makes RLT work. Dosimetry, which is the science of measuring radiation doses, radiobiology, the study of how radiation affects our bodies, and, of course, a deep-seated commitment to safety. They are the natural leaders for this next generation of cancer treatment. So after all this, the changes, the challenges, the opportunities, it all brings us back to one single unchanging principle at the very core of this profession. And you should know, this isn't just a theoretical debate. People are already getting organized. Major groups like ASWRO and ACRO are already working together, creating a united front to help write the rules that will guide this new age of AI in medicine. Because when it all comes down to it, it boils down to one simple, powerful truth. An AI can spit out a treatment plan in seconds, but it can't be held accountable for a person's life. That final, ultimate responsibility it must, rest with a human doctor. Always. And that really leaves us all with a huge question to chew on. In an age where AI is getting more and more capable, what does human expertise even mean anymore? It's a question that goes way beyond medicine, and it's something I think we're all going to be thinking about for a long time to come.